In a coupe, rockin' Prada, and she dancing on this shit. 100 racks in my pocket, know my band's really lit. Shorty down for the trip, she take.
Hey, and we're back. What's going on, everybody? Again, we're back with another tutorial. Super excited. Like as always, man, I love doing this. I love editing. I love looking and reviewing my images. I love even more so showing you guys my style, how I look at things, and I hope and I truly believe in my heart that these tutorials will help somebody. And if it helps one person, then I feel accomplished, because I remember sitting on the other side of the chair and not really sure what to do or how to do it. And YouTube was such a source of information and kind of gave me hope to, like, man, this is how you can get stuff done. And even to this day, I still look at it if I need to review something or I want to see how something may look or anything. So you're never too good enough for it. So I'm really happy to bring you guys here. So we're going to dive into a portrait session I did with a football program. I want to tell you guys a little bit how I lit the project, what time of day it was, and how I got everything to look as dynamic as it did. All right, so we photographed this at high noon, 12 p.m. Usually not a favorable time for a lot of people to photograph, but when you understand lighting, you can get stuff done. So we lit this subject here with a flashpoint, one light softbox over my left shoulder, 45 degrees, with the sun coming from behind. And I did that because I wanted him to be backlit, and I just wanted to light his face just to give it dynamic and keep the sky intact, and you guys will see. All right, so as we look at this image right here, guys, let's dive right into it. You'll see here that we are in CaptureOne 20. And let me grab this cursor here. This is our image at the moment, and you'll see he is pretty well lit. We have some sunlight right here, as you can see. Boom, right off the back of his shoulder. Right off the back of his shoulder and his helmet here. And more importantly, the sun is right here. You can kind of even feel it a little bit. You can even feel it a little bit. The sun's right here, hitting over his shoulder. We have our sky intact, but this is a very, very intimate shot. I want to really get in on his eyes. So first and foremost, let's start with our crops, as always. And I want to just bring it in. I want to keep this. So he's kind of on the third right here, right? I'm going to slide him over because I want to keep this, the flag in. Okay. So let's start like this right here, right? So our first thing is, I'll go into our base characteristics and our histogram. I'll open this up first, and our white balance and our exposure. This will be my first four things I'm going to work on right here. Okay, so I like this on film I like this in film standard. Again, I'm in CaptureOne version 20, guys. And my white balance, I like it. And we'll just start with the exposure, right? So as always, I tell you guys, see what you're working with, right? I like how the image is exposed already. I just want to make it more dynamic. So I'll jump into some contrast. Boom. Maybe I'll hit it a little bit. I like a little bit of desaturation, and we'll keep it like that for now. For the high dynamic range is going to be key here, right? We want to keep the highlights. We want to keep the sky intact. That's the key to the way I look at these portraits. The best ones is when the sky is intact. And as you guys also see down here, I photographed this at ISO 100. F11. And the reason I did F11 is because I exposed for the sky. Okay, guys? So here we go. You want to keep the sky intact. You guys just saw this again, high dynamic range here. You see the sky get blown out here, and you see it intact. I like to almost bring it all the way down because he's not being affected because he's being lit already by a light. You see how the only thing here is being affected is the sky. So I like to bring it all the way down. Okay. And let's get a little bit of blacks, let's get a little bit of dynamic. Boom. And I'll open up the clarity. I like giving it a nice little punch. Sometimes I go to punch, but more times than none, I leave it at natural. Again, I want that natural look. And I want to raise the exposure just a tad bit. But the thing is, I don't want to really lose. I want to keep the sky intact. So what I may do, I'll show you guys that later. I may go, okay, I'm going to go to my levels. I always like to bunch this up a little bit. Yeah, I don't want too many highlights, just a smidgen. I don't really need anything. We're almost done here. I don't need much more left on this, my base characteristics. little bit of vignetting, not too much. Boom, just a tad bit. Okay. I love how he's lit here, guys. I don't want to overdo it, but I'm going to jump into this and I'm going to press the plus button here. It's going to add me an adjustment layer. I'm going to press the B button for brush, or you can select the brush right here. Okay. Press B and I press M for mask. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into his eyes. I don't even really feel like I need this for this image, but I just want to show you guys. I want to show you guys this in case you come into a situation where you feel like you could have used a little bit more light, and just so you guys can see it working, you can kind of just go, you can kind of see where you're coloring. If you get into a situation where you feel like you may need a little bit more light, like just a smidgen, then this is what you would do. Okay? Just a smidgen. It's a little hint. You can see, again, guys, you can mess with it. You want to just get to a good place. And like I said, I don't think I really need it for this image, but I also want to show you guys here while I have you for this tutorial. If you come into a situation where you are lighting your subject and his face or a part of the face may seem just a little bit overexposed or over or underexposed, use the brush tool. Don't feel shameful that you're using a brush tool. Not everyone's going to get everything perfect in camera. You want to aim to get it as perfect as possible, right? And then from there, you can do it. So then you don't have to do so many adjustments. But in a situation like this, I think it's really cool to, if you want to, just to dive in just a little bit. See how look, and I want to show you guys mistakes where this doesn't fit here. Like if I went the whole way if I wanted to go the whole entire way and really like color his, highlight his face, you can, right? Boom. Let me get this right here. Cool. You would obviously like be very diligent about it as you're going in. This doesn't look too bad. And a little bit, not too much shadow, a little bit of shadow, just because you want it to make it feel as real as possible. You don't want it to look too over like that, but it looks amazing. Look at the before. See, he's still well lit. It's just a little bit of a pop. It's just a small pop, guys. You see that? Before and after? Boom. Okay, so we'll keep it right there. And then now next, so I feel good about how he's exposed. Let's jump into the sky next, okay, guys? So we're gonna add another adjustment later. We're gonna hit our brush button. When you wanna enhance the brush, you're gonna hit size. You're gonna hit control, and then you can mess with the size. So let's just make it big now, just because we're working on the background here. So like I've mentioned in my other tutorials, when you do this, just make sure you're coloring around your subject, or if you get a little bit of him, it's okay. We can erase it later. Or if you wanted to color him completely, we can erase him later. So we're gonna work on the sky right now. And this is a new layer, guys. And when you're in CaptureOne, especially when you're doing portraits or whatever else it may be, you're gonna work on layers. So just be conscious of that. And you should always make new layers in CaptureOne. Okay, so here, now we're gonna go with the erase tool. Option. And we're gonna just erase everything that we don't wanna work on, all right? Here we go. I really like how his face is popping right now. Very, very dynamic. Here we go. And obviously, guys, when you do this, really dive into it and zoom in and get all the crevices. I'm kind of just doing it at a high level, just off my eye, just for the tutorial's purpose. But make sure that you would really have to really go in and dive in on this. Don't just do it how I'm doing it. Brush. I just want to get these crevices right here. Yeah. Okay. And let's for this, like I said, for the sake of it, let's just get to it so we can kind of see how everything's looking. All right. So that's highlight. So what this means, guys, is that this is we're only going to be working on this layer right here. And this layer here is the backdrop, okay? Take your mask tool off so you can kind of see now. And now what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can make a dramatic sky, okay? Lower it a little bit. Bit of highlights. What I really want to do here is show you guys coloring. So I'll go into the next tab in CaptureOne, and I will go into my color tool right here, advanced color editor. I grab this tool brush right here, guys, and I'm going to highlight the blue. Okay. So this shows you right here is that this is the blue that's being selected. And if you want to see what's being selected, you hit this view selected color range right here. And this will show you that everything and the only thing that we'll be working on. So right now we're only working on these blues. So you'll see here, you can mess with the hues. It'll change the color of the blue. You can change the saturations of the blues. You can change the lightness. So this will make it lighter and darker, just so you guys can see, all right? Now, when you want to see how it looks complementary to the image, you just hit this view selected range and it'll bring you right back to it. Okay? So I like it a little bit like this. I think it's too dark because, I mean, this again, you want it to look as real as you can to the image. And this is me. I'm happy how the image would look, but I'm looking to add another dramatic touch to it. So I'm comfortable with the blues here. And I always like to take a look at how the Kelvins look. You know, like I said, you can make it, that doesn't look good. I wouldn't even do that. And like I said, I'm happy with how I shot it. All right, our next thing is here is going to be our skin tone. And I'll add another layer, adjustment layer 3. And we'll always name these two guys so you know what you're doing. Skin. Boom. Sky. It's easy. It's just right click, rename, just so you know what you're working in. Now, if you want to go face right here, right? Yep. Rename face. So then you know, okay, hey, I want to work on the skin. I click this, and now we're going to work on the skin tone. Similar to the sky, you grab the pen tool right here, and we're going to hit a part of his skin. It's going to show you everything so this means that this is everything that is registering, all the information, okay? Be conscious though, like before, it's just showing you everything that it's going to work on. I don't want to dumb down the reds. So if you want to keep the reds intact, because that's his uniform, you just simply go like this. So this shows you, this is all the information this is processing. You see how the blues come in? So what you want to work on color-wise, you control it. This is the best thing about CaptureOne. So it's really these orange, I just want to bring it down a little bit. I'm going to desaturate his face a little bit. And I like the hues. So I notice in my Canon 1DX, I don't overly like the hues that it selects. So I like to go, you see the wide range, there's a little green right here. It's a little red right here. So I like to go right in the middle and a little bit to the right. That feels the most natural to his skin color. All right, guys? And again, similar to before, lightness and darkness. You see it right there. A little bit to the left, and then boom. There's his image. And again, you'll see it. Skin. It was just subtle. You see the sky? It was just subtle on the skin. You know, it didn't go too crazy. Like, it was just a very, very subtle skin change. And not a lot of people would even probably notice it, but you see what's highlighted. You can even bring it in a little bit more. And then boom. There we go. Right there's where I like it. Great. I'm not doing anything. Interesting. Yeah, so for this, okay, guys, so for the skin tool, like I said here, you can also brush his face again. And this will show you the exact part. That's him super saturated. You see the different hues in the skin color, red, a little greenish. Yeah, so I like to go like this, a little bit of desaturation, not too much, because it shows you again what we're working on here, right? These are the colors that we're working on. So when you are doing a skin, guys, make sure that, again, we'll walk through it again. This is how it originally looked. When you're doing the skin, you create a new layer for the skin. You're gonna color the face with the skin tone that you want. You're gonna flicker this, hit it, and then from there you're gonna work on this to where you like it. And this will let you know what you're working on and what you're not working on. So right now I'm liking everything how it goes. Let's go back to the background layer. And boom. Now what else can we improve on this? I immediately want to cut this out. So what I'm going to do is this. Create a new layer. Let's do a new heel layer. What we're going to do is focus in on this. Oops, excuse me. Control Z. Make our brush a little bigger. And so the heel tool is gonna take information from another area. But just know, as you do this, if you want a different layer, this is taking the information from this one. So if you want a different layer, you're gonna have to just apply it from here. So right now it's working on this sole layer right here. We'll call this one pull, the pull layer. Okay, but we want to take that pull out just for a cleaner look. And again, this is reading the information from these three. And again, you can make this cleaner if you really go in, zoom in and do it. But just for the sake of the tutorial, we're going to jump on this. So when you do heel, guys, when you're in a heel layer, whatever you're clicking on, it's taking the information from this original spot already. Now, if you want to go, you want to clone, which is a different tool. So we'll call this pull clone. The clone tool will, whatever is more like a copy and paste, so wherever you highlight, so option, highlight, is going to take this and put the information from right here into right here. Exact copy and paste. So when you have heel combines this information and will take the information from this area and put it right here. Clone is like an exact copy and paste from whatever area you're selecting to here. Okay. So, I'm pretty much right where I want to be, to be honest. I actually want to add a little bit of pump. I have one more adjustment layer, and this is just some extra dramaticness. We're going to call this one eyes. So similar to before, we're going to hit the brush tool, B. We're going to make our brush a little smaller for his eyes. We're going to hit the mask tool. We're going to color those eyes. Okay. And then we're going to work. Again, guys, you want to make this look as real as possible, but any pop in the eyes looks great if you can. It really kind of illuminates the image. So, this is, I'm prepared to say it. This is how I've created this image. And now let's look at a before and after for you guys, so you can kind of see the difference. Well shot, well lit, And again, this was a beaming sun down at high noon, but the camera had so much information that if dropping the highlights just fit perfectly, and then that's how we went from this to this. It's a tutorial specifically, you know, on this method of making dynamic images. And the key with that, guys, is starting is with how you shoot it. So again, here's our before and after. Look at that, man. How beautiful. How beautiful. Unbelievable, guys. Yep. All right, guys. So I really hope you really enjoyed this tutorial and learned a lot. You know, shooting portraits is so much fun. I truly love it and have the opportunity to do this. But you can see how you want to be able to light your subject correctly. And then when you do light them, you have the information there in your camera and to import into your program and then make things happen, dropping highlights, adding contrast. And don't be scared to use the brush tools, especially if you're working on an image that you're really, really proud of and you want to showcase it, or you want to put it in your portfolio, or you want to hand it to a client. You know, don't be scared to showcase that, guys. You know, and don't be scared to use these adjustment tools. It's at your discretion. The key is try to get it as close as you can in camera. Once again, guys, I'm so happy you guys were here, tuned in. I hope you guys learned a lot. I know this one's a bit extensive, a lot of layers, but I think it's really, really vital to learn these tools and make sure that you can use them to your style. So again, guys, thank you for liking these channels, liking these videos, subscribing. And if you guys want to see any more portraits on how I edited it, how I look at it, how I viewed it, how I colored it, and my style, please let me know, comment me, or follow me on Instagram at johnny.izquierdo. And my website is www.johnnyizquierdo.com. That's all for now, y'all. Peace out.
Like they don't hit. Savage on this shit, you know my bands are really lit. Hop in the whip and I go, yo, but she doing the most. Had to go into my business.